This is Kugan Cassis for iFilm London. We're in Glasgow here at the Marriott Hotel for the announcement of Ricky Burns' fight on May the 11th against Jose Gonzalez. Deal was done pretty late last night, Eddie.
Very late last night, a couple of hours to go before we were forced into purse bids, which would have been horrific. Interesting times, a lot of promoters trying to work against us. You can imagine the shit that went down. And over the moon to get it done. Paid a lot of money, but it's okay because we got what we needed and we got what we wanted. And Ricky will face Jose Gonzalez, #1 challenger, 22-0, huge puncher from Puerto Rico, real tough fight. May the 11th, Glasgow, Emirates Arena.
Is this the fight that you and Ricky Burns wanted? I know you have to have this fight because it's mandatory, but was there other fights that were lined up for May the 11th?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted a proper fight, a tough fight, so this is exactly what we've got. We approached Vazquez's camp about making the fight. You know, we spoke to Daniel Estrada, we spoke to Richard Schaefer at Golden Boy late last week. You know, they're the kind of fights that can happen in September. Abril again as well. He got cut in his last fight, but he's a viable option for September. But we really had no choice. You know, the WBO told us we have to fight Gonzalez or, you know, potentially lose our title. It's not something we wanted to do. I looked at other alternatives, and you know, it was a tough 5 days because, you know, boxing is always like a big game of chess, and you've always got to outmaneuver other promoters and external forces, and we did that very well and overcome the odds to get this fight made.
Ricky Burns said obviously if he'd had the fight in Puerto Rico, he would have had to have knocked him out to get a draw. So must be pleased to obviously be able to have this in Scotland where it was meant to be. Yeah,
well, if it goes to purse bids, the most obvious move is a promoter that has no intention of doing the fight, bids for the fight, makes it in Puerto Rico, the whole thing's messed up, Ricky Burns doesn't fight again, he ends up fighting in, you know, and the whole thing is a waste of time. So, but that would have happened if we would have gone to bids. So if we would have gone to bids, I probably would have pulled Ricky Burns out. And we had about 2 hours to spare last night before I, you know, got the deal done. So, yeah, you just wouldn't go to Puerto. I mean, you're the champion. I've got nothing against going in and defending your title in other countries, but you know, to fight Jose Gonzalez in Puerto Rico in Ricky Burns' position, of which he can pack out stadiums here in Glasgow, it wouldn't have been an option. So that's the importance of getting that fight delivered last minute.
Undercard for May the 11th, obviously stacked full of Scottish prospects and talent. Jonathan Slowey, David Brophy, John Simmons, Stephen Simmons, John Simpson, sorry, Stephen Simmons. Will it be any of your UK-based matchroom fighters?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I'm looking at those guys now, and we'll see how people get on. You know, the likes of Yafai, Stallcraven, Bellew, you know, those kind of people. Barker. I mean, you know, it's a real opportunity for those guys to travel out and have a stay busy fight, maybe a 10 round or something like that. But you know, the show is built amongst the prospects and the talent in Scotland. That's what I want to deliver, a new era for Scottish boxing right here, and that's headed by Ricky Burns, and that'll be, you know, built up underneath with Simpson, with Simmons, with Brophy, you know, Slowey, those kind of guys. But we'll definitely be bringing our matchroom fighters here as well, and we'll have a packed out card at the Emirates. Unbelievable stadium, you know, it's geared up for 10,000, and the team's going to be working their nuts off for the next 6-7 weeks to sell the thing out.
How did you feel about George Groves fighting on Box Nation Saturday night?
Absolutely fine. I mean, you know, it made me laugh. Go, oh, George Groves is boxing on Box Nation. What's going on? Well, he hasn't boxed anywhere near enough in the last couple of years. An opportunity come up to box on a Southern bill where he's #1 challenger to the top of the bill. He had a little piddly 10 rounder which lasted 2 or 3 rounds in Wembley, and he's having a big fight on May the 25th. Perfect opportunity. It doesn't bother me if it's on Box Nation at all. I'll do the right thing by my fighters, you know. Apparently I don't let my fighters go on Buncey's hour, but I do let them box on Box Nation. Who knows? But, you know, I saw the press release from Box Nation. Groves is back on Box Nation. Maybe.
I think it was a bit tongue-in-cheek there from the Warren camp, I think.
Yeah, we've got nothing better to do, have they?
Well, I don't know, they're promoting like you are.
Nah, but, you know, I haven't got time to send out little digs in press releases and stuff like that. But listen, it was good for George Groves' career to gear him up for that May the 25th. Doesn't matter if it was on Box Nation or Babe Station. You know what I mean? The fight was the fight, and a good opportunity for him to go and box over there. You like that one, didn't you?
Yeah. What's the Twitter? Not Twitter. It's like gone viral as well, like television, internet. The beef with you and Steve Bunce, because every time I listen to Steve Bunce on the radio, like on 5 Live the other day, Box Nation the other day, there's a lot of subtle and not so subtle digs aimed at you. I don't know where this is all coming from. Can you shed any light on it?
No, I haven't had any digs at Steve Bunce, have I?
No, it's actually mainly from it's one-way traffic from Steve Bunce.
That's all right. Listen, Steve loves a pound. Now, if you gave Steve a few quid, he'd tell you the greatest thing on sliced bread. He used to do some work for us, and he couldn't get his head out my bottom. And now all of a sudden he's not on our payroll, and he's up someone else's bottom. It's all right. It's I like Buncey. He texted me yesterday to do something for his ESPN show, and I got him Bellew and a few of the other lads. So it's all banter, isn't it? He calls me the suntan new age promoter or something like that.
Some of the stuff Buncey says about you is actually quite funny. Like, I don't know if you'll find it. No, I don't know if you'll find it funny, but it is. When I was listening to 5 Live the other day, I was chuckling to myself. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but I did find some of it quite funny.
I'm glad you did. To be honest with you, listen, I like Buncey. I think listen, it's not rocket science, is it? He works for Frank Warren, so he's got to be his little mouthpiece, and he's got to say the right things about his boss. If he was working for me, he wouldn't be slagging me off. He'd be slagging other promoters off. It's just the way you work for me, Coogan, so you're going to say good things about me. Oh no, you don't work for me. No, you don't work for me.
Everyone thinks I work for you.
You definitely don't work for me.
I definitely don't work for you.
You definitely don't, but that's life, isn't it? You're not going to slag off your paymaster. Does that clear it up?
It does clear it up. There's some big stuff coming up. Obviously, Brooke Alexander now, 18th of May, Atlantic City, co-header with Matisse Peterson, also Sean Porter on the bill. So that's now done, confirmed. Flights can be booked.
Yeah, all done. They're sending out a joint release actually today. Golden Boy to announce that show, and we can't wait. It's finally going to happen. Kel's going to get his chance, and what a May. Not just what a May for Matchroom, but what a May for boxing. You got Floyd Mayweather. You want to come here with it? You got Floyd Mayweather on May the 4th. You got Jamie McDonnell challenging for the world title on May the 11th. You got Ricky Burns defending his world title on May the 11th. You got Kell Brook fighting against Devin Alexander on 18th, and culminating in the fight potentially of the century, Carl Froch against Mikhail Kessler, May the 25th at the O2. You're so excited about it. You're dribbling on the floor about that schedule in May. What's going on?
Was there ever any talk of Jamie McDonnell fighting one of your bills? Because I know you fought the Eliminator on your bill in Sheffield, wasn't it? Was there any talk of this fight now, which is at Doncaster Football Stadium, being on one of your shows?
Yeah, we spoke briefly to Dennis Hobbs. I would have loved to make that show, but I just don't have the dates at the moment. I've got so many fighters who are signing with us, so many more fighters that want to sign with us, and I've just got to be careful that I deliver for those fighters that are Matchroom fighters. So really it was a case of I would have loved to put that show on, but the date they had obviously was May the 11th. It wouldn't have worked for us anyway because we got Burns. But listen, I think Jamie's a great guy. Dennis has done a brilliant job delivering that fight in the UK. I wish him all the best. I hope he can do the business.
Right, I don't want to overkill it with you today because we've got to do this again tomorrow, and obviously the parody accounts will be having a field day if we,
They're boring, aren't they, parody accounts?
Yeah, I think they are a little bit. If you're listening, parody accounts, just think of new stuff.
Up your game or do one. Parody accounts. Up your game or do one. Like Coogie Bear, it's not cutting a grade anymore. Might be time to bring it off. And my old man's on Twitter now, which is causing me all kinds of problems.
I'm so proud of you, son.
What's all that? So what? Like last night, he called me up last night, and it was about 11 o'clock. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working, trying to get this deal done for Burns." And the next thing I know, he's tweeting, "I'm so proud of my son, working 24/7, number one, no doubt." It's like,
was it cringy a little bit?
Hashtag cringe. But he loves.
Just confirm. Your dad is actually typing the buttons, sending the tweets.
How it started was we're doing a lot of work now with Twitter, and you'll see myself and all our fighters starting to get verified now. And Twitter wanted him to go on because they thought that he'd be a good person to go on Twitter. So he was umming and ahhing. And the initial plan was that people in the office would tweet on his behalf. And then he asked how he could do it, and he sent one tweet, and then he's been on it non-stop. He said to me, God, you don't have to get a lot of abuse on his Twitter, don't you? And I looked at the people tweeting him, it's like, you fucking this, that, fuck, you know. He loves it, he just soaks it up and laughs. But he loves it, he loves Twitter. I mean, he's going to get himself bang in trouble because he says what he wants.
How long did it take you to get to 10,000 followers, which is nearly touching?
Well, I started Twitter in April, just before the Khan McCloskey fight. So that was April 2012. So I've been on 2 years.
Can't have been 12, McCloskey Khan.
It was.
Well, it was last year, April.
No, 11. Yeah, so it's still 2 years. Still 2 years. So I've been on 2 years, I've got 62,000. I remember when I got my first 1,000, I was like chuffed, over the moon. I think it took me about 6 months. He got 10,000 now in what, less than a day? I reckon he'll sail past the 100,000. But he's over the moon with it. But he's cringe. Like, I'm waiting for some embarrassing stories about my childhood to go up there. Do you know what I mean? Because
if we ever find out that you are tweeting on your dad's behalf to you.
One last night. I'm so proud of him. #1 promoter. 2 phones on the go.
All right, listen, Eddie Hearn, thank you very much for talking to White Film London. You're looking very, very sharp today.
Yeah, not sure about the tie. It's a bit of a rascal, isn't it? A bit schoolboy. It was a gift, and I put it on this morning. It was a bit dark in the room. Not sure it really goes with the shirt. Hanky's a different colour and all.
Do you like my jumper?
Bathing ape. That's what it says on your jumper. I've never seen a more horrendous jumper in my life. You're the worst dresser I've ever seen. What is that, Bathing Ape? Was that a brand?
Some people will know what Bathing Ape is. People of your generation probably won't. Because you could sit in your old man's generation with stuff you wear and do. I can still do it with this.
Mate, seriously. Don't fuck about that shit. Well done on the Danny Dyer interview. If you haven't seen the Danny Dyer interview, check that out. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. One of your finest pieces of work, which don't mean a great deal, but it was very, very good. I love Danny Dyer. A lot of people hate him, don't they?
A lot of people give him a lot of stick, but he knows that and he takes it on the chin.
One of the best things that Danny Dyer said in his interview yesterday was, listen, all I've got to do is feed my kids and pay my mortgage. So if it means doing these roles or these parts that are the same every time but people want to watch them, that's what I'm going to do. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, Coog, all you got to do is eat, isn't it? And it don't matter how you get paid, you just got to get paid.
Just got to get it, basically.
You got to get, what is it they say on, you know, you got to
Think about it and let me know.
Adrian Broner. Bring home the Benjamins.
Bring home the Benjamins.
I'm sure that's right.
No. Think about it. Come back to me tomorrow in Liverpool.
Okay, mate.
You don't really mean about this jumper. It's a black jumper with white writing on it. You can't say it's...
Come here. Come here. Come here.
No, because you're going to mug me up.
No, I'm not. Stand here. Show everybody. Quickly, because otherwise you'll kill it. On your tiptoes.
But why is it horrendous? Do you know what?
Well, because what is it? It's a hood. Wait, alright, it doesn't say Bathing Ape in it, so that's not a brand.
It is. What are you on about?
It doesn't say Bathing Ape.
You're on drugs, isn't you? What's it say there? Bape. Bape is the brand.
Fucking you talk some bollocks.
Do you know what? We could have just done this. I didn't have to go behind now. We could have just done this and watched it
Because of
there.
the jumper. You knew I was going to abuse you about your jumper. And where's your little I Film London thing?
It doesn't fit on this. Because it's a mini cam. No, all right, don't start. Just we'll sign it out nicely. Coog and Cassius for I Film London with Eddie Hearn.